When we talked to Demetrius early in camp, he said he was splitting his reps sort of 50-50 with offense and defense. Has that changed as sort of camp has gone on?
No, I mean it's still very similar to that. And he's doing a great job on both sides of the ball. He picks it up fast. You know what I mean? He works to study and learn it. Yeah, I would say it's probably about that.
He seems, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, he seems like necessary on defense and sort of maybe nice on offense in terms of what you need from him this year.
Yeah, no, I think there's a slew of guys in the corner room that are doing a great job. They really are. And I mean, he's a guy, he's having a great camp, and he's a guy you want on the field, whether you're on offense or you're on defense. So I would say he's doing a great job on both sides of the ball.
When you look at a guy like Barry Buxton III, what are you taking away from him and kind of his growth and his maturation?
Yeah, his maturation, I mean, he was a mature guy always, but I mean, right now it's like he has really stepped into a leadership role, and I think what he understands this year is that we as coaches, and it starts with Coach Fran, and it starts with Coach Fran at the top, you know what I mean? And he's really bought into that, and it's like, hey, we have your back, we support you as a leader, and you've seen him really grow in that role. I mean, and the guys, the team, not just in our room, the guys really listen to him. He's a great kid.
We've seen Deuce as a corner and as a safety. His versatility and just what you see from him in this season.
Yeah, I'm excited about him. You talk about maturity, you talk about leadership as well. I mean, just in this camp's been really fun just for that back end, and Deuce as well. I mean, along with Barry and Devin, Chris Peel does a great job too from a leadership standpoint, just off the field. And Deuce has been right there, amongst those four guys the whole time. He's done a really good job.
How important is it to pair, I guess, Deuce and Devin together and having the second year with them together? Like, how important is that in terms of their experience?
Yeah, honestly, what we're trying to do right now is just as this whole thing's, the puzzle comes together here as we, continue in camp. We're actually trying to get as many combinations as possible and trying to make sure that, we're playing guys in different spots every single day, every period, you know what I mean? Every period they're in a different spot. So, but yeah, I mean, all those guys playing together and getting those reps together is critical.
Can you speak to what Jaleel Martin, I know he's wearing the green jersey, just what you've seen from his progression from the bowl game and then just what he's doing with now and how he's trying to work through that?
Yeah, he, like a number of other guys, had an incredible offseason with our strength staff. And, from just a bigger, faster, stronger standpoint, and he came into camp, and I mean, he's done a great job. You know what I mean? He knows the defense. He's a high IQ guy on the field. He understands it, and he's right in the mix as well, man. He's been doing a really good job.
Davian Kerr was a guy who didn't play much to begin last season, and down the stretch, you guys leaned on him. Now it looks like he's going to be playing nickel for you this season. What was his growth process, and how important has he been to that run so far?
Yeah, I mean, he's another guy that really, it's like where does he fit? You know what I'm saying? Positionally, he's playing corner, he's playing nickel, and he's the same thing. Last year he was a freshman. Made huge strides this offseason just from a body comp and a speed standpoint. And really we're still shaking it out to see where he ultimately fits and where the puzzles end up falling, the puzzle pieces end up falling. But he's having a tremendous camp. I mean, he's a guy who's going to get his hands on the football. So
how has that combination of him, Chris, and Demetrius really come together so far?
Yeah, I think it's gelling well, and then you still got other guys. You got his brother in the mix, You have guys like Caleb Singleton in the mix, Greg Delane, a returning guy definitely in the mix. And then really, again, having those guys play in both spots and, depending on what subgroup we're in and stuff like that, who's playing on the inside, who's playing on the outside, it's just, we're still trying to sort those pieces out.
You guys are young at corner, at least in terms of like game experience. Mm-hmm. Does that change the teaching process for you at all? Or same as always?
It doesn't change the teaching process as much. We have a rhythm here that, we use. Coach instructs, Coach Fran, as far as all position groups. We're going to meet, we're going to walk through, we're going to meet on our feet. We're not just going to sit in the meeting room. In that process, you try to, pinpoint it so that you can reach all learners. You know what I mean? But then it's, okay, is he coming in extra and doing those things, to get caught up? And so far, I mean, those freshmen have been doing a really good job. They're ball guys. They want to learn it. You know, they want to know it. So it's been good.
So does that mean like they're in more than than even like a veteran would be then?
Not necessarily, but they're going to make sure they're understanding it. You know what I mean? They want to know it. They want to learn it. So.
What are you looking for from Deuce from a leadership standpoint, and how important is it for him to set up, or for him to be a leader, knowing that Marlowe, Wax, Justin Barron are gone this year?
Yeah, we talk to those guys a lot. I talk to the safeties, especially. Like, leadership starts in small groups, and so if they understand that, and it starts with the 9 safeties or the 20 defensive backs that we have in the room, then it expands. You know what I mean? And guys start to learn from that. And as they branch out into the locker room with other position groups, it just kind of creates a snowball effect. And so, I've talked to Deuce a lot about, like, that's where we got to start, is just that snowball effect, but it's got to get started, And that was months ago, and he's done a great job with that.
What has he done to start that process?
Yeah, his communication with the younger guys, his ability to hold his teammates accountable. We have standards. Everybody has standards. And something that I tell those guys, like, they don't mean anything, but what we allow is what means something. And Deuce is understanding that, and he's holding his teammates accountable. But it starts by him modeling what it all looks like. So he's modeling it, and he's holding his teammates accountable.
Can you speak
for Coach?
Can you speak a little to the alignment, I guess, between you and Fran that DBs are miscued? Is like he kind of handles the corners and you handle the safeties. That split and how aligned you guys are in the vision for both sides to be able to work together.
Yeah, I think right now it's and it should be that way, but right now it's the best it's been, and just from a standpoint of, like, a year together, now we kind of know, like, just from a schedule standpoint, he's a busy guy, you know what I mean? So being able to make sure he and I are in constant communication, that's first and foremost, and then he's with the corners. I mean, he's out here in pre-practice in Indy. He's in it, he's at Indy. He handles the corners, you know what I'm saying? And then there will be times post-practice or pre-practice or install, stuff like that, where we get together, we do it as a whole back end.
For your DBs, how have you tried to improve tackling for your quarterbacks and your safeties that's heading into the season?
Yeah, a ton. That's the number one emphasis on our defense right now. Coach Elijah talks about it in every single unit meeting. We grade missed tackles. We grade, from the back end standpoint, like, play entry is so important. Angles to the football is so important. And I mean, that is first and foremost at the absolute top of everything we do right now. Number one emphasis.
When you say play entry, what do you mean?
Yeah, so you're a post safety, right? How are you fitting to the football? You know what I mean? You're a flat defender. How are you fitting to the football? You putting it on your inside shoulder, you putting it on your outside shoulder, all that stuff, and just understanding how to leverage the football. Something we need to improve at.
All right. Thanks, Coach.
Yep. Thank you all.